damn it, Brian's here. Oh.
Here we go again.
I just had to spoil his intro. So
Yes, he just had to be an ass, so we can see now. Let's talk a bit about the draft. A Spectra as well as a Zeus ban. Yes, keep sucking that.
Brian, why'd you have to use such vulgar words?
What's so vulgar about sucking? But anyways, okay, so this is the first day of the playoffs for the Double Rampage Super League. And this is Exile versus Elite Ventures Malaysia.
Mm-hmm. Actually, I don't think Team Exile is that the team name, because as far as I remember, isn't that Team Kisa?
No, unfortunately it's
Or
not.
this is a new
It's
name?
two members of Team Kisa and three other outsiders. So I don't think it's actually Kisa.
Okay. I thought all of them were kicked out from the team, so they're called Exile.
Oh,
So
you
this
are
is like
so
a revenge
nice,
team.
you know. The way you think of things, I have to salute you for the way you think.
It sounded like Johnny's Revenge, you know. So they were like, hey, we're gonna come back with a new name, call it Exile.
Okay, okay. Let's not let's not get into that. So we see a Venge first pick. You know, Venge, they actually run a lot as a carry, or do you think this is gonna be a support this time?
I'm not sure. I think they are able to actually carry it out as a carry in the game itself. It all comes down to how Team Exile would like to draft it. They can have a support Venture Spirit which works. They can have a carry Venge would actually work, or they can actually go run with a support Venge first, and then soon after mid game they can actually just transition it into a semi carry and or just a full fledged carry at one point in the game. That's it.
Right, but
But
personally,
having a
right, do
Venge
you
in a
feel that
game,
Venge is a good carry, or do you feel that it's still better run as a support?
I think because of the current patch, people run it as a carry. He's a valid carry now. That's all we can say, because previous patches has been up and downs. Some trying to nerf him, some trying to puff him up. And with the presence of the Arganim Scepter now, he has you know now he has a new ability as well.
Right, now Vengeful Spirit has actually a Vengeful Spirit, you know. You can actually still cast spells with it. But that's a plus point for the Scepter, but I hardly see people actually run the Aghanim Scepter on the Venge.
Does the scepter still provides Venge with the longer range, right, for his ultimate?
Was it longer range or more or shorter cooldown? I can't remember. Yes,
Scepter
Scepter.
cooldown, yeah, there's a
Cooldown, it's a
scepter cooldown.
cooldown. The range
Scepter
doesn't
cooldown.
change.
Yep. So because last time it was the range. It was the scepter cooldown and the range as well.
That
But
was in
right
what,
now I think
2010?
it wouldn't make sense anymore. Yeah, 2010. But then no, I think it was better than that. But then I think it's a little bit too much. It's a little bit too much because of the because now we have the Aetherlands. Imagine that with Aetherlands, it's a little bit too much.
Right, it's gonna be like a patch with Aether Lens again. Like, you know, the short duration of cooldowns for the hook.
Yeah.
Damn.
Mm-hmm. Right, so right now we have a gyrocopter game. I don't know about you, but I've seen so much gyrocopters in the competitive scenes that it gets you tired of seeing the same draft over and over again, which just doesn't excite you as much in the game.
Right, because Gyrocopter is actually a very versatile carry. You know, it can be used in the mid game. Like, if you talk about AM, if you talk about Spectre, they all come in the late game. They don't have much early to late game
Mhm.
presence. But the Gyrocopter, you know, with his Rocket Barrage, deals so much damage in the early game that he can actually be active in every single fight if he chooses to.
Yep, that's true. That's true. Low cooldowns and huge damage when it's very concentrated towards a certain hero rather than dispersing among other units. So it hurts so much, especially at level 1. where when at the start of the game everybody else is at low HP, doesn't have much items, so it hits really bad. So casting two or three of that in your face, let's look at intelligence heroes and agility heroes, is a definite kill. Plus with right clicks coming up from him.
Right, so we can see a Lone Druid being banned here. What do you think of the hero Lone Druid right now? I believe he has the battle cry. I can't remember what is the skill called, but it actually
Yeah,
it disperses your enemies away from you. Don't you feel it's a bit overpowered?
he needs to be nerfed more. He is nerfed a little bit, but he's not nerfed enough. I think in the game, it's not just the bear that has the it's not the battle cry. Not the battle cry. It's called the savage roar. Yeah, the savage
Right,
roar.
right, right,
So
right.
the savage
Savage Roar.
roar applies to both, yeah, to both the lone druid as well as the bear itself. So imagine both of them has the savage roar. So it's like a good escape mechanism, because before this they never had an escape mechanism for the bear or he himself.
Right. So yeah, so I can see actually why they chose to ban out the Lone Druid, and we can see a Spirit Breaker as well as a Viper being picked up. So what is the Viper gonna be running mid?
I think Viper mid is it works. He I mean, he has his Gorosov skin. He can actually survive out, and especially he can right click very well at the same time. But it's still unconfirmed. But if he doesn't go mid, is he gonna go carry or is he gonna go off lane?
No, I highly doubt it's gonna be a Viper mid, and the Ember Spirit has been picked up. So you can see maybe a Ember safe lane and a Viper mid.
Hmm. But it also depends on the lane though. They can actually still lane out Ember Spirit mid lane if they want to go for a level dependent Ember Spirit and a Viper just farming out as a carry. But it all comes down to what kind of mid lane Team Exile would like to lane out. If they have heroes, let's say an Invoker, then Viper will be the mid lane rather than Ember Spirit, because it's gonna get hit really hard.
Right. So I have to agree there that it comes down to the pick. Team Exile actually chooses the mid laner. But if you see a Viper being picked up, right, you know that they're just going to be going for a mid lane game as well. They're not going to drag it till late game. Probably you have an Ember Spirit, to back you up in case it does drag on to the late game. But I still feel the Viper pick really surrounds the mid game. I mean, the Undying, it works the same way as well.
And I'm really looking forward to this game because they have the Spirit Breaker there. So basically, we're gonna see a lot of gangs coming from the Charge of Darkness. Early game, yes, it's gonna be a little bit slow because Charge of Darkness, the mobility is, the charge speed is only like 600. But once it gets to level 4, 750, it's gonna be really fast, and gangs is gonna be super sweet at the same time. So something to pay attention to, but the heroes that they need to take down from the Radiant side will be Dazzle and Undying. And this is going to be very hard. This is the problem right here, because Undying can actually have healing skills. Dazzle has his own healing skills at the same time. Viper is highly durable. Well, Ember Spirit, he is more towards level dependent plus item dependent at the same time. He needs at least a minimum of level 6 for him to actually safely engage and safely make an escape at the same time.
Right, we see a Wind Ranger being picked up for Team Exile. Well, I'm pretty sure that they're going to be running the Wind Ranger mid. So when Wind Ranger go mid, so will the Viper be mid? I believe so, right? And the Ember's going to be run as a safe lane.
I think they can have an Ember Spirit mid as well if they want to, but then to be safe, let's have a Viper, so it's gonna be range against range, or we're still unsure on this one because they might just lane out Wind Ranger off lane. It might just work Gyrocopter having the safe lane with Avenger Spirit with Spirit Breaker, roaming. So Wind Ranger Spirit Breaker going a dual laning on off lane, and then they pick a mid lane hero from Team Exile.
Right, so we're coming down to the final ban. Um, what is Elite Ventus missing? They're missing their offlaner. So what kind of good offlaner do you think they'll be banning out? The Lone Druid has been banned.
A
Okay,
Bristleback is still an option at the same time,
a Clock.
unless they want to. Clockwork too. Yep, Clockwork as well.
The Clockwork Slada is still up as well as an offlaner.
Mm-hmm. I think Slara will be a good option right here because they need heroes that can actually melt through heroes like Gyrocopter, Spiritbreaker, knowing that they are SCR heroes, highly durable heroes, and they have Tusk. So they're going for the right click. It even goes through Wind Ranger's Wind Run at the same time, the Walrus Punch.
It does? Oh yes, the recent buff on the Walrus Punch, right?
Yeah, I didn't even realize it because I used the Tuskar and then it went through. That's when I found out that hey, it goes through. That's it. Actually,
Right.
this is I have to admit that this logo coming up from Team Elite Vintus Mai is kind of cool. It looks like a professional logo.
Oh, so are you
Ego
trying to say
kind of
that Team
thing.
Exile does not have a nice logo?
I say that's nice too. It's nice too, but I'm just surprised by the Vintus. So, this is going to be an interesting game when you have a Phoenix and a Spirit Breaker in a game, as well as a Tuskar. So I don't see, hopefully this game that we saw in game number one, highly disappointing. So, if this game goes to 30 minutes or 40 minutes, it's already good enough.
Right, so let's talk a little bit about the draft for Team Exile and Team Elite. What do you think of the draft so far? Like the whole entire draft, who do you think
I
has the
think I'm
better
more in
draft?
favor of. I think Team Exile will be better because it's more easy to execute the kind of combos that these guys want to bring into the game aside from Team Elite Ventus or mine because let's say for example Undying having the tombstone, it's a build up zombies, and it'll take some time even from Ember Spirits DPS a little bit slow at the early stage of the game. Even for Viper you need to reduce the amount of HP upon the hero for him to actually deal a lot more damage from Nether Toxin.
Right,
And even with Dazzle as well,
I'm having problem clicking my minimap. I'll restart my Dota and get back to you.
with DPS over time. And Venture Spirit, let's not talk about him getting an ultimate. Let's talk about him engaging magic missiles, rocket barrage, homing missiles, as well as the flag cannon early stage of the game.
Yeah, boy.
And I think that's really good enough right here. Hey, Brian's back.
Oh, no sarcastic comments this time.
I love this flavor. Yay! And it seems that we're still having a DC come from Venture Spirit.
So I've played a few games with you, and you seem to love playing the Ember Spirit. So have you seen the Ember Spirit Snail set, the latest one?
I see, Brian. I see a lot of ways where this Ember can be, is very vulnerable right now in the game. He can be charged by Spirit Breaker. There's a Shackle Shotgun from Wind Ranger. They just need now Team Exile. What they need to do is pay attention to the supports Undying as well as the Dazzle. Aside from that, after those two are down, as well as the Tuskar, he's being a nuisance with having the Ice Shards as well as having the Snowball. But aside from that, everything should be fine.
Yep. So okay, I'm actually looking forward a lot to the Spirit Breaker pick. When you have a Spirit Breaker around, you see a lot of ganks going on. And then let's say if you charge of darkness, you follow up by the magic missile, and you rain down a huge amount of damage with the rocket barrage on the gyrocopter. So I can safely say the offlaner of Team Eve, Elite. Eve or Elite? Okay, we're gonna call it Team Eve. Yeah, their offlane is gonna melt fairly quickly.
The battle resumes.
Okay, and the game will commence. We can see Team Exile will be heading towards the top rune. And a taunt by Amir Ashraf.
Alright, and we have a smoke gang coming in. Brian, why is there a delay?
I have no idea. I think my internet probably is having issues, so there's a delay when I speak.
The moment there's a delay, I kind of figured it out, and then I usually what I do is that after I speak, I'll just pause a little bit to make way for you to actually speak.
Yes, I noticed that, so I'm
I
actually doing
I
the
know
same
there's a
thing as
delay.
well. Okay, so there is another pause. Okay, so since we're gonna be pausing for quite a while, what are your thoughts on the latest Ember set? Since you're an Ember player yourself, Leva.
Brian, you're
Hello,
picking up.
hello.